Hola, Captain. So I have another story now. And this one's also to do with my stepdad, and if I remember right, I didn't cross-reference, sorry. But if I remember right, the last one I talked about my stepdad, I mentioned him in believing a zombie apocalypse. So, here we go. So, keep in mind my mom and stepdad were married for probably a good 7 years. They were together for about 8 or 9. Married for 7, and for the first 3 years he was cool, he was normal, did everything I would like to think a lot of normal stepdads taught their sons, how to shoot, how to fish, camping, tried teaching good moral lessons, wrong from right and stuff, basic stuff. Well, after the 3rd year of them being married, there was a sudden shift. There was a shift in the waves, if you may say. Like, he ended up getting infatuated with the idea of a zombie apocalypse, and it wasn't like something that was kind of building up and up. It just boom. That's what I believe, right? And so, because and I think it all started with that movie that came out, the Dawn of the Dead movie, the remake, where they're in the mall and shit, And in our house, we had this, it was a 2-story house, but upstairs, it was kind of like a half upstairs. It was a 2-bedroom upstairs, and then in the main part of it, it was a library that would overlook the living room. And so, one day I hear this noise coming from downstairs. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I get out of my room. I go to the edge of, the ledge of the library, and I look down into the living room, and Dawn of the Dead's playing. I was like, okay, that's probably what it was. But then I started to look, all the way down, and my stepdad's sitting there with all of his, a few of his guns. We had a safe. He inherited over 200 guns from his dad when he passed away. So we had a huge safe, as tall as me, and I'm 6'2". It was a safe as tall as me, just full to the brim of guns, rifles, pistols, you name it, we had it. Old, new. And he had well over a few guns, like a few pistols, like 5 rifles, and he's like sitting there cleaning. He's like sitting there cleaning his guns, watching the zombies on the TV, and he's like sitting there going like this. And then anytime a scene where a zombie would come up, he would pull out one of his guns and he would pretend to shoot at the TV. Kind of like one of those kids at an arcade who goes and plays one of those like shooter games. That's what he looked like, but it wasn't an arcade, it was our living room. and so I sit there for a good 10-15 minutes just like laughing to myself, because he's getting into it. He's like, gotcha, bitch. Oh, gotcha, bitch. Got him. And you know that scene where the old man on the other side of the mall is stuck there, and they're like writing on the board back and forth to each other to keep in touch and keep in communication of like how each other's doing and how they're going to get out of the situation they're in. He had his own whiteboard. He had his own whiteboard that he was writing his messages to the guy on the TV, like a little kid. And so I just thought that was pretty funny. Like, it's like, he was crazy. He was crazy. And eventually, he ended up turning my mom's closet into a surplus closet. Like a survival closet. He had all of these ammunition tin cans. He had jugs of water, those ration packs, those shitty ration packs that the military eat. He had a bunch of those, a bunch of medical supplies, and he even bought books on survival tips during a zombie apocalypse. Zombie apocalypses are what he aimed for. He was getting ready, you know. He was so convinced that Obama was going to be the primary reason for the zombie apocalypse. He said, as soon as that monkey gets in there in office, oh, that motherfucker's gonna put that monkey virus on all of us, and we're all gonna be fucking zombies. And I was like, you think? What? People always like to ask me why I have so many problems. I couldn't tell you. I thought it was natural, but yeah, no, he and even still to this day, I keep in rare contact with him. I'll go see him every now and then, see how he's doing after they got divorced, and he still talks about the zombie apocalypse. He still prepares all of his, he makes all of his own little bullets. He still has the whole shebang going. He has his own fruit garden, vegetable garden, whatever you fucking call it. For whenever that monkey virus comes, he's gonna be prepared. You know, just another interesting story about my stepdad, I guess. And that's just scraping the surface. That last one where he thought he was a werewolf, and then this one with the zombie apocalypse. Oh, that's not even half of it. We're just scraping the surface, just like this, you know. So bear with me. I want to fill you all in. I have more stories to come. So hang in there, and I'll get some more.